What's up, guys? Adam here with a new on the couch. It's raining outside, and I got caught in it. So I can see planes, fire and rescue. This movie was bad. This movie was really, really, really bad. Alright, so the plot is Dusty is a world-class racer at this point. He has won nearly every aerial race out there. Until one day, his gearbox breaks, which apparently means it's his heart condition. He has a heart condition, apparently. I don't know. They make these planes and cars as human as possible, and it's retarded. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, and meanwhile, an accident occurs that he caused, that involved a fire, and but unfortunately their town's firefighter is so old and so out of date that he can't really function without a second firefighter to help him out. So Dusty volunteers as a single engine transport or something, I don't remember. So he goes to a resort, a lodge, to go train. He trains with their local wildfire team, firefighter team. That includes Ed Harris as a helicopter, who's the head of their team. And there's your story, or lack thereof. Because this movie is not really a movie. This movie doesn't even have a 3-act structure at all. It doesn't. This movie is very, 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 very short. This movie went by fast. Like, there was no structure, there was no character development or anything like that. It was point A to point B. I mean, yeah, it's point A to point B, point A to point B, to point A to point B. That's it. You think, like, by the time the climax happens, you think you're only halfway through when you're actually at the end. That's how short this fucking movie is. Oh my god. I've said this before about the first one. It was meant to be direct to DVD. And the first one obviously was meant to be direct to DVD. This felt like a direct to DVD story, where you don't put much effort into the kids direct to DVD kids movies. You just like, oh, here's something for you to buy, rent for your kids, for them to shut up for an hour and a half. That's it. That's what this movie is. And because Dusty can't go as fast as he's supposed to without crashing, he decides to be a firefighter to help, like I said, to help out the town. Ed Harris is his teacher. And he also meets the rest of the crew, there's one who is this genius when it comes to making parts, which I'll get to in a minute. There's also a Native American helicopter who I swear to God is an Apache helicopter. No joke. He even had, and his rotors are painted to look like feathers. I'm gonna stop there. There's like a crew of little like off-road vehicles that jump out of one of the other planes and lands, and they're the ones that like make the escape routes. They're the ones that like look for the trees that are blocking the paths and moves them out of the way. And I swear their names were like there's like this is top heavy, this is drift, this is blah blah blah. I'm thinking, were these guys Transformers rejects? Hold on a second. Sorry, phone call. Again. And you also got the giant plane who you don't really know much about. And then you got who I assume is supposed to be like Dusty's main love interest, except she's a stalker. She's a crazy stalker. Like, she really is. She's this... the moment she realizes who Dusty is, she goes, oh my god! And then automatically thinks they're dating throughout the entire movie. It's creepy. It's fucking creepy. It really is. And this is something I'm really tired of, is the whole mentor character having a dark past. You knew it was going to happen the moment they introduced him. You knew, because it's a concept that's already happened before in the first Cars and the first Planes, and you got it here because they got no better ideas for this fucking franchise at all. And I'll give them this though. The backstory is actually pretty awesome, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to that in a minute after I get to the puns first. Puns. Like, I don't mind puns at all. There are plenty of them that I actually find humorous. Like, I got one. If Once Upon a Time was made into a porno, rumple foreskin. Blow white. Okay, that was pretty bad. Anyway, but here you got it's gonna hurt. You got alright, so Jerry Stiller and Mira Stiller, if I'm saying her name right, I could be wrong, play an old married couple, which is great. I'm glad that the two of them are playing a couple. Because they've been married for many, many years. And they're celebrating the 50th anniversary. And you learn their names, which is Harvey and Winnie. And guess what they are? An RV and a Winnebago. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Their story was actually kind of cute though. And of course you got the pickup truck and the John Deere. And then this one was the one that hurt the most. This one hurt more. during this party at the lodge, all these celebrities come in, and then there's one who comes in, and he's a boat. And his name is Boat Reynolds. Boat Reynolds! Ah! God. That one physically hurt. This one, though, made me scream in fear, which was Howard the Truck. Which leads into the only cool thing about this movie, which is Ed Harris's character turned out to actually have been a former TV star in a chip spoof called Chops. And it's the works, the whole 1970s works, and it was awesome. It was funny because for one thing, despite my age, I actually watched shit like that with my parents on reruns and whatnot. I watched that shit. I like that shit. So yeah, I would have liked to see more of that. That was cool. That was funny. I don't want to see something about planes or I don't want to see any more of Dusty. Dusty's story was over in the first movie. We don't need more. And in the beginning of the movie, it has it says we dedicate this to the brave men and women who risk their lives fighting fires every day or something like that. And you know what? They're right. I would love to honor those men and women by saying don't go see this movie. Or don't even take your kids by seeing this movie. And I mean that by the utmost respect. Because I'm watching this movie. Let me say this. Before this movie, or even the trailers, they showed like a featurette of the movie I went to go see. And they said, like, yeah, we studied, we actually worked with the firefighters who do this, the aerial firefighters who do this every day. You know? And you know what? It shows. It actually does show that they did their research. And it was fascinating. It's just, if you want to make a movie about these men and women who do risk their lives every day putting out fires in a forest, which is completely different from fires in a building, make it a movie about them and not make them planes. I mean, I get why it's marketed towards children. Children like planes more than people. I get it. I really do. But it doesn't work here. If you're gonna make a movie dedicated to these people, don't make them planes. Make a movie about them. Not make it about planes who just happen to be firefighters. That's it. I really want to see more of that Chops TV series, though. That was cool. That was actually really cool. I honestly can't say anything else about this movie, though, because this movie was nothing. This movie was nothing. The first one at least had a 3-act structure. This didn't. This didn't have one. It didn't feel like a 3-act structure. I couldn't tell. This is first act, second act, third act. I couldn't tell when it transitioned. It just happened. This movie was nothing. Would I say this is worse than the first one? No, because they're both kind of on par with one another in terms of how shitty they are. This movie is shitty. This movie's really, really shitty. And I don't want to go into the whole planes acting like humans thing because it makes no sense. Like when Dusty and the helicopter, or Ed Harris's character, like had to go into a mine shaft, Dusty says, "We'll suffocate. You're planes. You don't breathe. Yes, you're alive, but you don't really technically breathe. You'll be fine." Jesus Christ. I mean, granted, all right. You know what? I take that back though. On shots being the only good thing. There were actual moments though during the fire scenes where it was actually pretty intense. Like when the sound when there was no music, but you just hear like muffled sounds in the fire. That was actually intense. When Ed Harris and Dusty are trapped in the mine, and Ed Harris is protecting Dusty. The flame sears Dusty's metal plating off to where he's scarred, and you're just like, holy shit! That's pretty intense for this movie. It really was. This movie was pretty intense when it was intense. Other than that, you just didn't give a shit. I was bored and angry because of the puns. Because of the stupid pun, like boat rentals. Ugh. God, that one just... that one hurt. That one physically hurt me. Ugh. I don't want to... I give Planes, Fire and Rescue a 2 out of 10. This movie is... It has no plot. I wouldn't recommend taking your kids to see it. Honestly, I feel like it also does a disservice to... I mean, while it is fascinating to see what these people do every day of their lives, basically risking them to save a forest, to save animals, to save people every day, that's fascinating because they actually do the research. But I feel like it's such a disservice to these men and women by making it about planes. And some of the characters are really annoying. The only good things about it was the Chops video and some of the intense moments during the fire scenes. That's it. I'll be back with trailers. Alright, I'm back, guys. I got the same most of the same trailers. I got Paddington the Bear, which, knowing my mom, she's gonna go see it because it's got the main guy from Downton Abbey in it. Book of Life, I'm gonna go see. Box Trolls, I'm definitely gonna go see. Dolphin Tale 2, I don't know. I haven't seen the first one. It's got Morgan Freeman in it, so that's got me sold anyway. Here's one. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, Not Good, Very Bad Day. It's been a while since I read the book. Like, grade school. Like, really, really early grade school. So I don't... And the kid actually gives the moral of the story in the trailer. Not exactly what you're supposed to do before the movie comes out. I got Annie again. I still like that prostitution joke he says. That was funny. And I got Big Hero 6, which I never read the comic. I'm pretty sure the comic is a little more adult than this movie is. But I'm really excited for this. This looks good, not to mention some of the other... I mean, I know I said that Disney's animation studio hasn't really been doing well. Shit, they haven't been doing well with... They didn't do well with this movie. But I'm looking forward to this because it looks like they're putting some effort into it. I've even seen some other trailers, and it does look good. It really does. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Next week I got Hercules and Lucy, and I'll see you guys until then. Bye.